You ever watch somebody do something crazy and you wonder, what in the is this person doing? Is he or blind or something? Welcome back to Law Dogs. I'm Jeff Henley, your host, and with me as always is Annabelle. Today we're talking about the last culpable criminal mental state, criminal negligence. With respect to criminal negligence, a person acts negligently with respect to a material element of an offense when he should be aware of a substantial and unjustifiable risk that the material element exists or will result from his conduct. The risk must be of such a nature and degree that the actor's failure to perceive it, considering the nature and purpose of his conduct and the circumstances known to him, involve a gross deviation from the standard of care that a reasonable person would observe in the actor's situation. Law Dogs, that's a mouthful, isn't it? When we're talking about criminal negligence, though, there are several things to remember. First, it's not the same kind of negligence that you have in the civil context. In civil law, as you will learn in torts, means that you lacked the use of reasonable care. That is, you had a moment of inattention or a moment of carelessness, something that you should have done, but you didn't do it in that instant. With criminal negligence, we're talking about something much greater, much more severe. That is, you are absolutely clueless, oblivious to circumstances that are frequently extremely dangerous. I might inadvertently run a stop sign to be civilly negligent, whereas to be criminally negligent, I might travel down a freeway for a mile against traffic. I might drive against people on a pathway, whether it's a jogging trail or a golf cart path, if I'm engaging in criminal negligence. Criminally negligent defendants often seem oblivious of things, right? They could be pathological knuckleheads who leave babies or puppies in hot cars during the summer. Easy, Annabelle. Now, when we're talking about criminal negligence, we're talking about should and ought to know. That is, when we're talking about what the defendant should or ought to know. What do I mean by that, Law Dogs? What we're talking about is there a basis for which you could have engaged in that conduct? So taking the hot car example, what purpose could there be for leaving a child or a puppy in a hot car during the month of August? Well, as you can well imagine, someone will say, well, I was only going in to the post office or the grocery store for 5 minutes. But in that instance, when you're talking about that 5-minute trip to the grocery store, is that justifiable? Of course it's not. The moment of convenience that you're talking about is grotesquely unjustified given the risks that could result from the hot car if you're talking about an infant. Now, the substantial and unjustifiable risk prong frequently gets litigated. As you can well imagine, if a child perishes or something horrific happens as a result of one of these events, the defendant, whether it's a mother or a father, is going to try to offer some sort of explanation. Naturally, that explanation is going to relate to something that defendant hopes will mitigate his guilt. Now, remember there was a second paragraph, and the second paragraph tackles risk. And the kind of risk that we're talking about, of course, was the risk so great that a bad event's going to happen that you could not justify what it was that you did in the first place. So, law dogs, to recap, with respect to criminal negligence, a person acts negligently with respect to a material element of an offense when he should be aware of a substantial and unjustifiable risk that the material element exists or will result from his conduct. The risk must be of such a nature and degree that the actor's failure to perceive it, considering the nature and purpose of his conduct and the circumstances known to him, involve a gross deviation from the standard of care that a reasonable person would observe in the actor's situation. We're glad you came by once again. We'll see you next time on Law Dogs. Until then, you stay out of trouble or the Law Dogs will get you.